Last name Silva. Silva. I'm sorry. I'm talking to radio for a living. So. My name is Mustafa Jackson. Mustafajacson.
Mr. Jackson, have you ever been represented by the law firm White for Keller and Preston?
No, sir.
Okay, that name showed up on my contact sheet and I had to ask, but thank you. So you gentlemen have written a request for hardship extension, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So who wants to tell us the background? Actually, you're not the one who submitted this, right?
Both of you have, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, if I could. Both of you don't have an interest in the license. Can you explain, at least based on our information, can you explain your role? Because you didn't sign, neither of you, unless, are you Mustafa, you're not Kenneth.
No, I'm Kenneth Jackson.
Oh, where is Kenneth Jackson and where is William Shepard?
William Shepard, he's not here.
Okay, well, you have to come and be sworn, sir. You own 50% of this license, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, please raise your right hand.
You swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
What you said before I
I'm just acknowledging.
Okay, but you are Mr. Jackson, right? Okay, so you and Mr. Shepard submitted a hardship request, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and why are these gentlemen here?
Because they actually won't be operating the place.
Oh, so tell us what's going on, okay? Because all we know is that you've asked for some extra time.
That's because we doing renovations. We need some time to get back open.
Okay, and so Mr. Mustafa Jackson, is he related to
That's my son.
your son? Okay, and Mr. Silver, they're going to operate the place once it's reopened?
Yes.
Okay. And when do you think that will be?
Actually, Roberto Silva speaking. Is looking. I'm sorry. It's looking around March.
So, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, it's been a long day. But that's not what your letter says, Mr. Jackson. Your letter says that you're planning to sell it. Has the plan changed?
Eventually I will. Eventually. But I want to let my son have a shot at it.
Okay, so this letter was written November 1st, 2016. You're in front of us a couple months later. Because what you've written in here is not exactly what you're testifying to. So I'm just trying to understand exactly what the plan is.
See, what the plan is, he came involved in it. So he's eventually becoming a part. So he's going to eventually buy it.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You want to reopen and allow him to make some money and hopefully with an option to buy you out at some point. I see, okay. And Mr. Silva, do you have experience in this?
Yes. Well, my name is Roberto Silva. I'm known to most of Baltimore in the world as DJ Quicksilver. Award-winning DJ for the last 20
Not
years.
a million years for me.
I know I look young. I look very
But
young.
I trust you that you're telling me the
I'm
truth.
36. I have the biggest radio show on the East Coast. But I've been in this business since I was 14 years old. I'm 36 now. I'm born and raised in Baltimore. I started in Baltimore my nightlife career at a club called Club Indigo back in '94, if anybody's old enough to remember that. And from then on, I've been in this business, completely full-time in radio and DJing since the age of 14. I've been very successful in radio and club. I've been in Washington, D.C. now for the last 14 years.
Have you ever owned and operated one?
Yes, I actually run one of the most popular and successful clubs, the Park nightclub in Washington, D.C.
The what?
The Park.
The park.
It's owned by a guy named, well, I don't know if that man's a guy named Mark, but I've had the biggest night there for the last 8 years consistently.
Yeah.
I've ran that night, and not just that, that club, I've the last decade plus, I've pretty much had all the biggest events in Washington, D.C. But now I'm looking to bring it back home to where it all started for me. A lot of my patrons, I don't know if I can speak, but I've noticed a lot of my high-end so-called clientele that's from Baltimore, they come to Washington, D.C., one, because I'm there, and they always tell me, I've listened to all these people talk before me, but they always say there are no upscale nice spots for the urban community. And that's what I offered in Washington, D.C. for the last, decade and a half. And being a resident of Baltimore and having so many ties in Baltimore with my charity, and I always say I would love to bring that revenue back to Baltimore because I know Baltimore really needs it, at least on our side of the world. So that's my reason for wanting to have this club in Baltimore.
Understood. Commissioners, you have any questions?
I'll defer.
Okay, on the basis of what you gentlemen have testified to, I think should have an opportunity to see if you can get back on your feet and do this business, so I would vote to grant the extension.
I would vote to grant it,
Yes, ma'am.
but this license has some history,
Mhm.
and it's challenging, and you're aware of that.
Yes.
And as you're working to clean up the building and the business, you gotta clean up the practices as well.
Absolutely. I've never had any issues. I'm very aware of the issues that were there before me, like you said. I had nothing to do with them, and my goal is to make sure that I clean up the.
Right, because it's not just a liquor license, it's also an adult entertainment license.
And I'm actually looking to operate. I know we have the adult entertainment license, but something I stress to kids. On Baltimore Street, there's a zillion strip clubs.
There are?
They're 10 plus. There's a lot. But
You guys know.
you don't know what Baltimore Street is? The block.
Oh, the block, okay,
So
sure,
on the
sure.
block, it's outside. That's a strip club district, and that was actually my business plan. I said, I'd be foolish to come on a strip club district and open up another strip club. So although we have the adult entertainment license, I want to own and operate as an actual club with an option if I want to do a strip club night. But when I open, I'm not, because a lot of my clientele are me. I have, state senators and the mayor. So they're not coming down for a strip club. So I want to make sure that my clientele is, they feel comfortable coming to an actual club.
I
It's
wish
not
that you could
just
see the
a strip club.
faces of the people.
I know all these guys. Senator Larry Young is my great friend. He do a lot of charity work for me. So that's my goal, is to actually bring some life into the block. If you ride down the block right now on a Wednesday, Thursday night, there's 10 people. And
Lace Star would be
You-
mortified.
so that's my goal, is to bring life back to the block in Baltimore City.
I appreciate that. I too would join my colleagues in approving the hardship. I would echo what Commissioner Moore said. There's a history, and I would work on cleaning that up. And your corporation's not in good standing, so that'd be one of the first things I'd try and clean up and address. But wish you the best of luck. Hope you get open soon.
Yes, that's the
Our
goal.
dreams can become a reality.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
We're gonna take a brief recess. We'll come back for the